Red Notice is a 2021 Netflix movie and stars Dwayne Johnson, Ryan Reynolds, and Gal Gadot. An art thief and a cop search for Cleopatra's 3 golden eggs in a race against another talented thief who seeks the same treasure. Red Notice is Netflix's most expensive movie, clocking in at a budget of $200 million. But I'm not really sure how that's possible because I saw not a single trailer for this movie until about a month ago, and you would think for a movie that is the most expensive in Netflix history, we would have had marketing for this movie back in like July or June. But I didn't know of the movie's existence until around late September, so I was not excited for this movie because I barely had any time to process that this movie was coming out for a film that costs $200 million to make and has an A-list cast starring Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson. You would think that I would be pumped to see this movie on Netflix. It should be one of the biggest Netflix movies of all time. From a viewership standpoint, it is Netflix's biggest opening ever, but from a quality standpoint, this movie was underwhelming. So Red Notice stars the cast of Fast and Furious. You got Luke Hobbs, Giselle, and Ryan Reynolds' character, who we briefly saw in Hobbs and Shaw. And all of these actors, I really like watching them in movies. Ryan Reynolds is having a year for himself between The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard and Free Guy, and the other two always have big years. This is the type of movie that so many even moderate movie fans flock to watch at home because of how big these names are. Everyone knows who these 3 actors are. My biggest takeaway of Red Notice is how entertaining this movie is. Despite being a cheap ripoff of the Indiana Jones franchise, the director, as well as everyone else involved with the screenplay, knew how to make this movie fun and utilize both of our main leads very well. Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson, by the way, have excellent chemistry. We slightly saw this in Hobbs and Shaw, but it is on full display in Red Notice. Somebody like me does not even consider Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson actors. I look at them more as entertainers because they are really good at entertaining people on the screen. We love seeing these guys in movies, though I don't think they are the best actors. However, they know how to play their shtick very well, and in this movie, it's exactly what you would expect from these actors. But everyone in the movie is good. They bring back their usual formula. Red Notice is pretty funny too. It's the same director as Dodgeball, so as you'd expect, the humor is on point. There were a couple of times where I laughed hysterically, and there's this scene towards the end where somebody makes a cameo, a very famous singer. I can't name who it is without spoiling it, but I thought it was so funny. If you're looking to turn your brain off for 2 hours, watch Red Notice. This movie, if anything, is entertaining. It's very typical coming from these actors. But at the same time, my biggest problem with Red Notice is how typical it is for both Ryan Reynolds and Dwayne Johnson to be in a movie like this. It's literally everything you've seen from these actors already combined into one movie. There is nothing new here. It's all the same. I might even consider this one of the worst movies for both actors, especially Gal Gadot, the 3rd big actor in the film. She usually stays away from bad projects, but I guess got a big paycheck for Red Notice. I think it was like $20 million. So of course she was going to accept that, and she got wrapped right into production. It's a very predictable movie. You know exactly where it's going from the opening scene. There are a couple truly eye-rolling moments in Red Notice. I knew where the movie was going, and when what I knew was coming up came up eventually, I rolled my eyes. I could not believe they did literally what I thought was going to happen. And even when the movie is not predictable, it's really stupid. There are a couple of plot twists, and I do commend them for at least trying something that wasn't predictable, but it doesn't make any sense. The plot twists in this movie are some of the worst twists I've ever seen, and for 2021, the final plot twist in the movie, I think is the worst of this year. I'm not going to spoil anything about the movie. I will skim the surface on this one. But Dwayne Johnson's character is a cop. And when this huge twist is revealed during the film's finale, nothing what happened before the twist makes any sense now with Dwayne Johnson's character. I have absolutely no idea why his character is a cop now. Everything these characters plan out seem overly elaborate, like how Zemo's plan is kind of ridiculous in Captain America Civil War, except in this movie, that plan is on steroids times 10. It's like they're taking Adderall and have no idea what to do, so they just threw together a random twist ending because maybe it would catch people off guard, and people love twist endings, but when a twist ending doesn't work, it simply does not work, and in Red Notice, it is horrendous. I don't know why I'm getting mad about this review. It's a major Netflix movie that cost $200 million to make with an A-list cast, some really cool drone camera shots in there that I loved, and it's entertaining. I mean, it doesn't take a high IQ to watch this one, but if you're looking for something more intelligent and that's not as stupid as this, well, watch anything else on Netflix, literally. Oh, and of course there's going to be a sequel because of how well Red Notice did in its opening weekend on Netflix. I'm going to give Red Notice a 36%. Miraculously, this isn't the worst from Dwayne Johnson or Ryan Reynolds, but I would come to expect much more from actors or entertainers as talented as these guys are, and from the guys behind the lens too, and the screenwriters. God only knows what the sequel is going to be like. Probably more of the same. I don't think I'll even bother watching it. But anyhow, if you guys also happen to see Red Notice over the weekend on Netflix, be sure to let me know down below in the comment section what your thoughts are of it. Do you think it deserves to be the biggest opening movie in Netflix history, or do you think this one was just a shoehorned Netflix movie that nobody should have watched? And of course, if you are new to my channel, click the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. Thank you all so much for watching this video, and I hope you all have a fantastic day.